Good morning. Sorry I'm late. I had to get some stuff together. I had to restart my computer, reopen my streaming software. Kind of computer was running a little slow. Um, let's see. Before we get started today, I wanted to go over the kind of the entire market. Pull that up real quick because we are seeing some decline here early. Which this isn't. I mean, we've seen stuff like this before. I'm not too overly concerned, but we are seeing a gap down right now in the SPY by about what 5 points, 1.24%. So we'll have to kind of see how this works. Sometimes when it opens up low like this, it will drag other stocks down with it in the pre-market. But then, if we see like a gap fill or we see the market kind of rally back, it could end up being a positive or a green day. And some of these stocks, at least the ones that I've been following, a lot of times they're not necessarily tied to the broader market as closely. They kind of move independently. So, um, kind of have to see how it goes. But yeah, the market is gapping down right now. It is down almost, like I said, 5 points. So, could be significant, could be nothing. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. Um, so I'm gonna just get through real quick. Let me check the chat. Co-creators up early as usual. Lisa, good morning. Michael, good morning. Trenton, good morning. Okay, so you just asked the same question. Anyone concerned about the broader market sell-off? Yeah, I mean it could be a little crazy, but also at the same time, um, the a lot of these stocks, at least the ones that I have bigger plays in, like Clove and Gamestop. If there was a sell-off in the broader market too, that could end up being a positive catalyst because if you start seeing the sorry, my voice is kind of scratchy this morning. You could start seeing that funds are getting having to sell off their positions and unwind their positions if the market is selling off in general, and unwinding those positions also means covering short positions. So it could have a reverse effect with stocks that are heavily shorted, like Clove, like GameStop, like AMC, and some of the other big names that people are in, and even some of the smaller names that aren't as popular but have high short interest. So, like I said, I have no idea. This is just my speculation, but I mean we've been seeing red days for a while now. So if we ended up seeing a red day today because of some market sell off, it wouldn't surprise me at all either. Just get my computer set up here. All right, let me see. JC says, can't wait to see some green. Me too. Me too. I think it's coming though. I don't know, and I'll get over that with Clove specifically. I'll kind of go over that in a second, but I don't know if anyone saw the like the falling wedge pattern that was kind of being posted around over the weekend, and even I think like last Thursday and Friday. So that could be pretty bullish. I mean, anytime you get like a falling wedge or any sort of wedge pattern, whether it be a pennant or anything like that, there's always the opportunity to break up or down. But usually in these falling wedges, which I'll talk about in a second, if we break out of that, we could see a really big movement out of Clove. Um, Coach must have had a really long weekend. Yeah, I have. And I've been trying to catch up on a lot of stuff. Star says ATOS. I got that on my notes too. I'm gonna try to get to all these stocks before 6:30. So the next 20 minutes. All right, I'm just skipping through a lot of these. Chef, what's up? That food looked good on Twitter too. That I saw. It looked amazing. Carmen, good morning. Um, Ego says I'm avoiding DraftKings, but I understand your logic. Yeah, I'll get into that one in a second too, because I'm not looking to join a position like today with DraftKings. I made a video last night, but I was kind of looking at if it holds support at 41, I'm going to jump in, or wait for it to drop to 35. It's just more something that I'm like looking to open a kind of a swing trade on, and I want to see what happens. Um, let's see here. What's going to happen when you go back to teaching, coach? So that's one of the reasons too. Besides how amazing Tarheel's been doing with the stream, that's one of the reasons why I told him kind of in advance, like, "Hey, dude, you might as well take over Power Hour because once I get back to teaching, I'm going to have to give it up." But the mornings I should be okay. So I have I think I start work at 8:30, and I've been ending this stream at 8. So the main thing is going to be, working it out with my wife in terms of my kids and them being able to get ready and everything and get up, get done for school so that I could stay on here and then at 8 o'clock just take off to go to work. Um, Coach, is support still 761 on Clove in your mind? You know what? Sorry, we'll look at that right now. I'm going to try to get to all these stocks. Um, just kind of a quick rundown of all the ones that I've been watching and kind of going over before the. So if I don't get to the chat for a second, I'm just going to try to get to this all before the day starts. So I want to start off with ATOS. So that was a gamma squeeze specific play that I got into. Obviously, it didn't hit. We saw a lot of downwards pressure right at those key levels where the each strike price at 550. This is going over 2 days now. It looked promising here when we went up and ran up to 670. I think 750 was kind of that range where it would have sent it absolutely insane to like $16. Um, but we just saw a lot of downward pressure, especially on Friday. Hit as low as 430. I was kind of thinking, just looking at the chain, that if we could have got up here into this $5 range and maybe not have been knocked back down, that it would have kept climbing, just purely based off the option chain. But it didn't work out, and that was kind of like I'd said from the start, like a high risk play that would have paid off pretty well. In terms of ATOS moving forward, like I said, it does look like a pretty strong stock, but it is coming up off of a major run of 81 cents. I don't have a position in this right now. My position expired on Friday, but before I, jump back into this play, I'm looking for either one, more concentration in the option chain to make it more of a short term kind of gamble, or, to find some support levels. I mean, we've seen this with Clove now. Anyone who's been on Clove for the last month or longer. But after a huge run up like this, we're gonna look. I'm gonna look for some consolidation, maybe for it even to break lower and maybe find some support somewhere around here, where it consolidated last time, which is right around the $2.80 range before it looks to take back off. I could be wrong, and this thing could reverse tomorrow, but I would just want to play it safe before I like jump back in. So I know we had talked about with ATOS, anyone who had shares, maybe, setting stop losses in the 550, 560 range. I think Ago had thrown that out there, and, not a bad idea at all. But right now, like I said, it's really hard to say what's going to happen with this stock, especially being on a run all the way up from 80 cents. So I'm just going to kick back and keep it on my watch list and just see what happens and look for some consolidation before another breakout. So I hope that answers any questions there. I think ATOS is radioactive right now. I'm guessing many in retail got burned. It depends where you bought. I want to say, like for me, I mean, I went call contracts, but I think I had put it out like somewhere around here. It was trading at kind of in the $6 range, right around here. And so, I think, yeah, being trading at 450 right now, losing $1.50. Yeah, but I mean, I obviously anyone who bought up here in the $9, $8 range, pretty much got burned. But yeah, this is just a play that I'm not looking to be in right now. I do think that at some point it'll probably take off and try to, surpass this $10 mark, especially with some news behind it. And I know there is some news catalyst coming up for ATOS, but honestly, I just like I said, something that I want to kind of sit back and watch. for right now. So moving on. Like I said, DraftKings is something that I am looking to establish a position in, but I don't want to jump in just yet. I am where we at here? Looking all the way back to last football season, and it was also had to coincided with their earnings reports. They went on some nice little runs, and with football season right around the corner, and then really this November earnings, which would kind of price in earnings that came in through the start of football season when daily fantasy sports start kicking back off and everything else. Also, just the fact that it's coming down so much off its all-time high of 74. I think at some point it's going to look to reverse. The big thing that I'm watching for right now, and I'm going to try to do my first ever drawings over here on the webull, is to kind of, let's see here, looking for this level right here for support. Yeah, there we go. This level right here for support. How come I can't draw a line? There we go. Horizontal line. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. So try kind of to bounce off this 41 level. And if it does, and actually like comes down, touches it, and starts trending back upwards, I'll look to start my position there. If it falls through, then what I'm going to be looking for is a bounce off of this level right here, which is about $35. And I had said in the video that I put out late last night, if it falls through 35, I'm not going to enter the play at all. So it's just, again, something that I'm looking at. I'll be watching it kind of closely over the next week because I do think that it's probably going to come down and touch this. And if it bounces off nicely, that'll be a position I'm looking to get into. All the way out, I had put in the video yesterday, either shares or, like with me, I'm looking more longer term options. So I was looking at the February chain just so that I could price in the next two earnings reports and kind of get all of football season kind of mixed in there. And I was looking at the $65 strike. Just because the delta on that right now is somewhere around point 0.2, and I think it'll give us kind of like most bang for your buck. So that's what I'm looking at with DraftKings, at least. Just something I'm going to be monitoring over the next couple of days, maybe even today. If we kind of see that bounce, I might look to at some point today open up the position. But if not, I'm going to kind of be patient and just figure out when to jump in this. Avxl, not a lot of news that I've seen so far this morning. But a play that I'm still in, looking for. Everything's kind of been trading downwards. There is a gap here. If it continues to move lower, it may be looking to like get down here and fill this gap. At that point, I'm just in with calls, and mine are more long term, so they'll probably just burn up. But if I'm looking for some sort of reversal here sometime soon. Hopefully off this gap right here, and maybe we'll get moving again. BNGO looked like it was having some movement right now in pre-market. It's down 4.5. Last time I checked, it was. Yeah, I saw the 5 minute candle kind of moving around like crazy. But BNGO, looks like we do have a little bit of news here from this morning. Um, Optical genome mapping for acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Let's see. Co-optical genome mapping. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up real quick. Announces a summary of results obtained by the University Hospitals Leuven, Belgium, with optical genome mapping with BioNano Sapphire system. All right. So, and anyone who's been following, I've been saying this for a while now. I think, sorry, I didn't realize I didn't realize I left that comment up there for so long. Sorry, Div. Um, so with BNGO, we do get these kind of little mini catalysts all the time. It's just sometimes you'll get the stock moving, and when it does, the stock can run. So I do have a small position in BNGO long term, as well as some August options, which I don't know what the hell is going to happen with those, but it's looking for this to eventually, it did look like maybe it hit a bottom here at $4 back in May, and it's been kind of coming up right now. I'm hoping that after this consolidation, we kind of see this thing start running, and when it runs, and hopefully go test this $15 mark in a short amount of time, which I've seen happen before, and they've been dropping news like crazy, so. Just one I'm kind of keeping in the back pocket, watching. Gamestop, you know, um, nothing much in terms of news that I've seen so far. The July 14th date was kind of a dud last week. But the all the meme stocks, all the heavily shorted stocks have been seeing a lot of red, and GameStop has definitely been one of them. Um, this base here right now, we're trading at about 170 level. But this does look pretty similar to the pattern that we've been seeing. Like off the very first run up, it kind of consolidated, finally hit a bottom of 43 before popping, and then it can consolidated over the course of I think like 2 months, hit a bottom of about 130 ish before popping, and it looks like that's kind of what we're at right now. The same kind of downward trend of consolidation. I wouldn't be surprised to just see this thing start moving out of nowhere, and end up getting us up to a new high. Really, I want to break this 350 range. Um, you know, Again, it's just kind of a buy and hold scenario, but not a lot of news coming out of there. CLOV, on the other hand, we've gotten a ton of news out of. Over the recent, 2-3 weeks, we've seen they doubled their geographic footprint. Let's see. They doubled their geographic footprint. Their Vivek came out and made some announcements. Talk about, like, I basically confirmed how many lives they had under management, and that they had doubled those in recent, since January. I think I forget what the exact number was, but it was something like 1,600, and that was double the numbers that they had in January. So over the course of the year, we're halfway through the year, they've already doubled the contracts they have in, and we also saw some key hires. So a lot of good news came out with Clove, and what do we get for it? A straight decline in the stock. So highly manipulated stock. Um, you know, we'll have to see how this plays out. I'm not going anywhere. But when you're getting all these good news and good catalysts and all this stuff, and the stock's trading in the opposite direction, kind of makes you realize how manipulated it actually is, right? The other thing that we've kind of seen, I don't know if anyone's been paying attention, and I'll try my best to let me see. Let's see if I can get this up to replicate, kind of what the drawing that's been going around, and I do think that this does have some potential, but basically, this descending wedge right here. Oh, look at me! I'm drawing pretty good on webull now. Um, kind of this falling wedge pattern. So at some point, as the stock is kind of trading in this range, and up down, if we could break out of this wedge pattern, we could really see some nice movement. So that's something that I'll be looking out for. It seems like fundamentally right now. I don't know what kind of catalyst. I keep seeing that question, like what kind of catalyst is going to kick off this squeeze. Really, I think it's going to come down to more it being too expensive and shorts actually covering their positions. But usually, if we can get some sort of major catalyst to get the stock moving upward, hopefully that could help pressure that into happening. We are trading very oversold right now. I think 35 on the RSI on the daily. On the 4 hour chart, we're way more. I think what is this? 28 is where we hit last week. So I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing some green days just because we're in such an oversold state. Um, in terms of catalyst, though, I think earnings right now are looking to be coming out on August 16th. And, even the last earnings report, they did show a growth in everything. They beat most expectations, but I think they missed on earnings a little bit, but it was off by maybe like a couple pennies, if my memory serves correctly. But I would expect to see positive earnings, especially since they just came out and said that they doubled. Um, they're basically they confirmed that they've doubled their lives under management over the course of the year. So now we're in that that next earnings report, and we're also going to probably get some information, more information about how they doubled their geographic footprint, maybe even some information about what their plans are on their next expansion. So I would imagine earnings would be positive, and that could potentially serve as a catalyst to get new institutional investors jumping into the stock. Um, However, last time earnings were pretty decent, and then we saw a Hindenburg report come out. Right around here. So we were looking for this was May 17th. We were looking the stock had been trending downwards, similar to what it was right now. Earnings came out, and there was the potential for a gamma squeeze right in there. And as we were just starting to get going upwards, we got that Hindenburg report came out and sent the stock downwards. But that was only limited suppression, right? That only stopped our growth for about a couple of days, and then shortly after that is when the stock took off. So earnings could be the catalyst. We just got to wait and see. That's going to be what, middle of August, so about a month from now. But I do expect that we'll see some growth out of the stock. You know, between now and then. We've been trading sideways or actually downwards for a while now. Um, all right, let me get back to the chat. Actually, I need to drink some coffee. Scotty's in the house. Good morning, Scotty. DJ Tardis, what's up? Happy Monday. DJ's in the house. What time do we got right now? So we got 3 minutes before market open. Sorry I rushed through all that stuff too. Um, I got to start. I was just telling a buddy of mine, I got to start putting out more videos and kind of refreshing like on a daily basis. Because there's just so much information, and I've been speeding through it in the mornings. But if I start get back to my daily routine of doing like a little Clove update and kind of keeping it to like 10 minutes, I think that would help as a reference point for people that maybe jump on the stream late or anything like that. So let's see where we're at. So DraftKings did go down and touch 41.78. I still think that we're gonna see this thing trade downwards, maybe for another day or two before it bounces off 41. That's what I'm hoping for, at least, um, for an entry point. Clove down 4%, trading at 787. DraftKings down 2.8%, trading at what are we at? 43.79. Bngo down 3%. So it's kind of a market-wide deal. If you're joining late, we kind of mentioned that the S&P 500 right now. I always do that when I try to click on something. Let's see. SPY. S&P 500 is down 1.18%, 5 points in pre-market, and that's pretty significant for the S&P. Usually you'll see anything under a percent down, up or down, is like an average day. Maybe like a 0.5%, 0.2%, but it has a big impact on the overall markets. And right now it is down 5 points, 1%. So we'll look to see if this reverses at open, and that should start getting everything else kind of trending upwards, or if it continues to go lower. Um, just looking around the market, like I said, BNGO down 2.4, AVXL down 5%. Um, what is up with this chart right now? There we go. All right. And now we have the open. Wow, looks like DraftKings is oh, never mind. All right. Norden, good morning. Um, Ego says expect to see shrinking losses on Clove in August, in my opinion. Yeah, if they could, anything positive, like if we could beat out the last earnings. But I'd like to just see the growth too, like start to see the growth numbers and start to see, just that continue, because that's, to me, that's what this is all about. Fundamentally for the company is to show, like, that growth of lives under management, and just the total expansion. As they continue to grow, I think the speculation for where the stock could be at in the future is going to change among institutional investors. But shrinking the losses down too, absolutely. All right, so looks like we're in that opening 5 minute candles. I'm just looking around at some of these other ones. Um, Space actually looks like, I mean, everything's down. It's down 3% right now, but a nice big green candle hit as low as 27.75 about an hour ago, and now it's trading upwards of 29.30. Um, yeah, so if we see the SPY start bouncing back today and rallying back to, fill the gap of, where would it need to get to? Up here to 431. If we see that right now, a $5 move on the SPY, to come rallying back, I think we're going to see some really big green days. This wasn't too, I think it was last week or the week before. We kind of had a similar scenario where the SPY gapped down, and everything was kind of red in pre-market, like we're looking at now, down 1%. I mean, everything, even like your blue chip stocks, everything was down all at the same time. But as the SPY rallied, we saw some stocks rally back even harder, and some even went on to like some big gainer days. I know Clove wasn't one of them, but I want to say AMC might have been a big winner that day. AMC right now down 7%, currently trading at 32.40. Leo, good morning. What's up? All right. So, sorry, I got to get my Zoom set up on all this stuff. And I actually, I'm gonna try to switch back to Thinkorswim. I know I kept saying in here that, I've anyone who's been watching for a while, Thinkorswim's what I've been trading with for years, and I just feel way more comfortable with it. The setup in there, all that kind of stuff, and then when I started streaming, it was kind of slowing down a little bit, but I was using a different streaming software at the time. And so I switched to TradingView, and I didn't really like TradingView. I didn't really like TradingView, and it was all like web based, and I felt like I wanted a little bit more features. Somebody recommended Webull. I actually like Webull, and I like this setup that I have going with Webull right now. But at the same time, I I think I want to, kind of get back to Thinkorswim if I have to, even if I have to go buy some RAM for my computer or just something to kind of make it be able to move fast enough. But I was going to test it out this morning, but I was a little bit delayed in getting everything set up. and I wanted to test it out before I actually started the stream with it. So, um, yeah, I will. I'm probably gonna be on Thinkorswim though tomorrow. I just feel way more confident in there with drawing and all that other kind of stuff, and working around on the charts and some of the indicators that I already have set up on there. Um, so something I'll be looking at. Let me lock this real quick. There we go. Micro badge. Yeah, Thinkorswim is absolutely the best. It's the best I've ever used. I just like I said, it was slowing me down at first, but I was using OBS to stream. I don't know if anyone's familiar with like video recording and stuff. Originally, I was using OBS, and that software alone will like slow your computer down. And now I'm using a software called Ecamm. So now that I'm switched to Ecamm, I think I might be all right. Like the DraftKings video I made last night, I actually made with Thinkorswim, which I haven't done in a long time. But I just way more comfortable. There's so many other add-ons in there, and there's I don't know. I mean, I've been using it for years now, and it just kind of seems like that's the way to go. So I'm gonna figure out a way to get back into it. Um, let's see. Rehan says last quarter, state of Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, and Oregon onboarded with Clover. More critical for Clove is subscription and states onboarding Clover Health. This is what will move or trigger a squeeze. Yeah, I think so too. That's what I'm hoping for. Is like when we get to this earnings report, and it doesn't even have to be then either. It could be something where, between now and then, they announced they're doubling their geographic footprint thing that had nothing to do with earnings or anything. They just kind of put an announcement out there, so we could see that kind of announcement anytime soon. But I am kind of expecting that maybe we'll hear something on the earnings call, or the direction that they're looking to move in with expansion and all that kind of stuff. On top of that, I don't know why I forgot to mention. So the CLOV subreddit, if you're unfamiliar with it, I put a link in the video description. Go on there and join the sub. But basically, they're doing an AMA. The questions are, I think, getting finalized today, and it's actually Andrew Toy, and I believe is it here. I'll pull it up right now. But they're doing an AMA, and you could get your if anyone has questions, they it might be a little too late now. I think they're submitting the questions today, but let me see here. I'll just pull this up real quick. This is the actual thread. So it's the winner of the July meme contest, and let's see here. Oh no, that's not it. There we go. All right. Um, So in here we have all the questions that are going to be asked, and the Clover Health is actually going to answer these questions, and they're going to release a video for the subreddit, basically responding to all these questions that are on here. If you do go in the comments, there's more questions in there as well, but it looks like this might be the finalized list of questions. I'm not sure if they're still accepting them. But something to look out for, because we'll actually be able to hear from the management of the company, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. If you haven't joined the subreddit, please do so. Also, there is an official Clove Discord now with a lot of up to date information, and the notifications is what I really like about the Discord. So if you join the Discord and get in there, whenever someone drops a video, you'll get alerted. Whenever someone puts out DD, it'll alert you if you choose to have those alerts set. And then you can kind of click through the Discord and get back to the subreddit and kind of see what's going on, or it'll take you to Twitter if you're looking for the Twitter updates, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's important too, just to kind of support the community. Carmen says, would you consider putting out videos explaining how to pick stocks and explain option call strikes? I'm really new to this and have no idea what those are. Something like Stocks for Dummies. Yeah, you know what? And that's why I really so like when I first started my channel, um, and that's one of the reasons why I want to get back to Thinkorswim, because when I first started my channel, that's kind of what I was doing was picking specific stocks and going over like why I was picking them or what I was in. Um, and then I even made like an introduction to options video. It was like an hour long, but it's still on the channel. But I'm gonna try to reorganize my channel, and start like making specific playlists and start adding on to those and maybe taking questions from here. If you guys have a specific video that you want me to make, and then I could just kind of write it down and then make a video, after the stream is over, something like that. But that's absolutely. But I think once I kind of once I started streaming, and I don't want to blame the stream because I have so much fun doing this. But once I started streaming, I got away from Thinkorswim, and I kind of got away from a lot of my technical indicators and all the stuff that I was used to watching. And it just kind of, this last month, I've been so like, heavily vested into CLOV and GameStop and just focused on those that I haven't really gotten back to kind of like, how I got started and all that. Absolutely, that's something that I'm looking to get into, or get back into, I should say. So I'm gonna start. If anyone has any ideas too, maybe I'll put it in the. I know now that I hit 1,000 subscribers, I have the ability to do like a community posts and polls and things like that. So maybe that'll be like the first poll I do is kind of like, what type of video would you like to see, and I'll start putting some effort into making those videos again. Um, Leo says using Thinkorswim too. It's a great software. OBS is pretty solid. It's open source. Yeah, no, I was enjoying it, and it is free, and that's why I was using it. But it was just mixing OBS with Thinkorswim. I mean, my computer was just glitching like crazy. Um, Good morning. Good morning. Fluffer Trollsters in the house. Norden, is the link for the Discord on our CLOV? You know what? It should be. But what I'll do right now, I need to move this mic too. I feel like I'm like hunched over. I'll do it right now. I'll just put the link and then I'll also add it to the video. So, all right. So there is the Discord link. Um, Hago says it's all our fault. Nah, it's not. I just it's my fault. But once I started streaming, I just kind of like I don't know. I've been so focused on like the stream every day and getting up early and doing the stream, and then once I get off the stream, I'm helping my kids, and I haven't been putting out very many like videos on my channel. It's just been the streams, and then occasionally like I'll do a couple of other different ones, but it's my fault. I just got to, and I've been the weekends we've been out of town a lot and kind of busy, but I really want to get back focused on it. Um, Okay, so Chef, are you in? If you're in Thinkorswim too, yeah. See and Thinkorswim is free. I mean, you do have to set up an account with TD Ameritrade, but I mean, I don't even think you need to deposit money to do it. So if you set up an account with TD Ameritrade, um, you could just use Thinkorswim software, and they even have a paper trade feature. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool software to use. You know, there we go. Let me get that up. And there's a ton of stuff in there, and there's also open source stuff out there too. So other people create scripts and scanners, and they're available online, and you could download them sometimes for free. Sometimes people charge for them. I know in the past I bought some scanners, um, more for like day trading. But I built some swing trading scanners a while back. I just haven't really been using Thinkorswim for a while because I do most of my trading on Charles Schwab, and so I was using Thinkorswim just for the charting for a while. But then I switched to Webull for charting, so my Thinkorswim app's just been collecting dust. But I'm gonna get back into it for sure. Co-creator says 4 million volume on CLOV. Let me see here. It's why is this not up? I thought I had the volume. Let me open this up a little bit more because I did have. There we go. I tried to get it so I had the volume where it was just being displayed. So yeah, so we are at 4.5 million volume right now on CLOV. Hit a low of 767, and if we go back, that is kind of that potential support line from back here that we've seen a couple times. Um, I don't know. I mean, if Clove holds, kind of this $7 range, cool. If it drops down to 6, I'm okay with that too. I mean, that's just a cheaper opportunity to jump in. Nothing's changed fundamentally about this stock in a negative way to warrant this type of drop. So for me, it looks like just a straight up discount, and that's the way I look at it. If you're in it for the long term or even just for the squeeze and you're willing to hold the stock, yeah, it'd be cool if the squeeze happens in a month or in a week. But at the same time, if we were to get a nice little discount and it drops even lower before taking off, I'm okay with that too. Speaking of discounts, so it looks like I was talking about hopefully seeing DraftKings kind of drop down to this $41 range, so I can establish a position in it, and at least right now it's green, so I may not be getting in. Um, let's see what happens here. Let me pull up the Ortex data real quick. We haven't even looked at the short interest today. So as of this morning, 44 million shares on loan. I know I talked about this a little bit on Friday too. I don't know how trustworthy this data is because we've been seeing a lot of shares getting returned without upward price movement. So right now it's showing a net differential of 708,000 shares borrowed. Cost to borrow has gone down ridiculously to an average now of 2.65, up 1.6% in short interest. So we'll continue to kind of monitor this and see how it goes. iBorrow Desk right now is actually showing a huge difference. So we ended the day on Friday with 5.2 million shares available, through iBorrow Desk, and now it's at 3 million. So 2.2 million shares borrowed there. All right, so I think Tarheel's coming on here pretty shortly. Let me check my phone and see if he text messaged me. Um, I got to turn interview mode on my. All right, so anyone who's just joining or maybe never seen this stream before. So every Monday, buddy of mine, Tarheel Blue, he has a channel where he covers Clove for Power Hour in the afternoon and drops a lot of great videos. But he comes in here and with me on Mondays and kind of helps carry me through the day because sometimes I'm a little tired on Monday mornings like today. So he'll be on here shortly. Tar Heel, if you're watching, I just turned the interview mode on. Sorry, I thought it was on already. So whenever you want, just jump in. Um, let's see here. Chef Daddy says I don't have Vortex, but it looks like they're just dumping. Yeah. Um, can you show the FTDs for the first half of July? Yeah, let me try to find them real quick. Um, Short share availability. Here we go. Oh, for the first half of July, we don't have. So right now, this is Fintel data, and FTDs I think are normally what 15 days delayed, the data for it. So this is the current FTD information right now, and these numbers are, you don't add them all up. This is the actual number, So on June 29th, there was 2.2 million in FTDs. And now, as of June 30th, there was 1.7 million. So that's the way it works. So that means that 500,000 were actually covered between here and there, or just kind of kicked down the road. Same thing with here. So this isn't like where you total them all up. This top number is the actual number. But that's our current FTD list right now. Um, yeah, Clove got a nice green candle here. Uh, and it does look like we're kind of trading independent, at least at GameStop. If I look at AMC, kind of the same thing too. So looks like maybe we've diverged from some of the other memes right now. And maybe if we can get up here and, I mean, this is the highest closing candle of the day, but if we can get up here and get above 803, that would kind of set us up for a little bit of a breakout. We might see some good movement today. Dan says, I think the 20-day just crossed the 200. So that's and that's what I'm talking about with this webull. I don't know how to set all that up. Like I've been able to like go moving average, um, and even edit that moving average. But, that I know I see like EMA. And it might be my fault that I haven't, put the time in to do it. But those are the type of like indicators that I just have dialed in Thinkorswim. I'm so easy with that software, and it's driving me crazy using Webull. I've kind of gotten to a breaking point now, so I'm gonna figure out how to get my Thinkorswim going tomorrow, just so I can get in there and just kind of have everything the way I like it. Um, let's see here. I'm gonna pull up the news real quick on Clove. Trenton says veritable LP makes new investment in Clover Health. Let's see if we can find that on Fintel. Scotty says Reno got coach tired. Yeah, I got home kind of early yesterday. Um, I even fell asleep. My kids were watching the new Space Jam with LeBron James, and so I was kind of like sitting on the couch watching it with them, and I slept through about more than half the movie. I just fell asleep on the couch, so I thought I was, all caught up. But man, went to bed early last night and still woke up a little late, and I think I'm just catching up a little bit. Uh, Hope everyone had an awesome weekend as Coach did. Right on, co-creator. Um, let's see here. All right. Institutional ownership. I was gonna look that up real quick. Um, yeah, I can't find that the one you were talking about, veritable LP. So I'll keep looking, but I'm looking at like the right now. I just pulled up even the Fintel data, and I don't see any new anything new being reported at least. Um, Ego says original Space Jam is way better. Nah, I agree with you. Um, I agree 100%. I love the original Space Jam, and maybe it's because you know what, I should ask my kids because they've seen both now. But I agree 100%. Like I don't think they can compete with that with Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and just all the characters that they had in there. And it could just be an age thing too, like you're saying. But I think maybe that's something that they probably missed a little bit in this one was not getting those other players to come act in it and kind of like they had with the old one. Um, I did think it was cool how they had a lot of the kind of villains. From all kinds of movies sitting there watching the game and all that kind of stuff. That I thought that was kind of a cool take. My kids liked it, but I'm gonna ask them for their what they think on a comparison between the two movies. But I think hands down the original was way better. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna check that out right now. Co-creator. Yeah, so even that link that you just put up there, the most recent filing just shows for May 17th for Veritable. So I don't see. Yeah, but that's old. That's from May, right? I'm looking at the same thing. 19,000 shares, the increase and everything, but I'm just looking at the date of it. This was filed back in May, so nothing new that I could see unless there's something that's not updated on Fintel yet. Um, all right, let's see here. So where we at with Clove and everything else? The whole market is down. Is it Delta News? Yeah, the SPY actually looks like it's continuing to drop too, but yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily. I mean, we can pull this up real quick and see if there's any other news articles. But I mean, I think it had more to do with the bond market and the futures market over the weekend. It looked like the when I was looking last night, the futures were down across the board. You know, all right. So DraftKings looks like maybe it's coming back for me to get my entry point. Again, I'm waiting for it and I probably won't enter today, but I'd like to see it touch 41 and then hold above 41 for, on a candle. And then I'll probably throw in a little bit of a position. Um, and then if I see that it is starting to trend upwards, to look like the reversal really is coming in, I'll probably continue to add on to that position. But I don't want to open a full position at 41 because tomorrow or the next day or whatever, it could continue to drop lower. And at that point, I'm looking that it's going to drop all the way down to 35. But um, this is something that I want to get a position going into before football season comes around, and just play on a reversal. So Clove, we look like we're moving in the right direction right now. $8. There's not a lot of resistance over here either in the level 2 data. So um, maybe we can see a little breakout today and get some green going. Options chain for Clove, I haven't looked at for a while. At least not since Thursday. That's actually a ton of open interest for a weekly. Just kind of scan through here and see what we're looking at. So nothing too major until August 20th. That kind of seems to be the next big move or potential for a big move. But again, this can kick off at any time. But we do have, you know, kind of a little bit of a gamma squeeze potential building up here. But we're going to need to see some upward movement first. And looks like, some of these strikes got added in between too, which could even help if these start getting loaded up. So something I'll be keeping my eye on here. And we did just break through $8. Let's see if we can hold that right now. Why is the RSI and MACD up on CLOV? Yeah, I mean, on the 5 minute candle, we're definitely getting up higher. But if you go to like, a 1 hour candle, we're still lower. Daily candle, we're still way lower. So it's just on the 5 minute. A lot of we're seeing a kind of a big move upward right now. And so probably it cools off. Same thing happened when it came up here. Trade red for another 5 minutes and let it kind of cool off before stepping up one more time. Um, let's see. Target short sellers just said ATOS is way oversold. Yeah, I'm kind of, like right now it's still dropping, and I had said even in the pre-market that at this point, if I was going to try to enter back in, it looks like it lost support, and I would look for it, to see like a retracement off this big move, probably to get down into like this $2 range where it consolidated last time. If I see some consolidation again, like in that 250 range down here, which it looks like it's heading to, I might look to kind of jump back in and open up a position. Um, but right now, I'm just, something I've just been kind of keeping my eye on. But as you all probably know, it is grossly oversold on the 5 minute, though, trading at 15. So who knows? You might see a nice big pop coming off that today. Um, Definitely something that if I was day trading right now, I would consider maybe jumping in on for somewhat of a reversal at some point here. And that's getting deep into that oversold territory. Um, let's see here. Seeing if anything's actually green today. It looks like space is actually up almost to 1%. Everything else is still red for the most part. Let me pull the SPY back up. Oh, I almost just banned you, Tarheel, when I went to go click on your thing. So Tarheel says, knock, knock. Yeah, jump in. Um, yeah, Ego, I'll keep ATOS up for sure. Let me see here. ATOS. There we go. And Tarheel, I think, is coming in. Says tell coach to let me in. Am I behind right now? Did you already try calling in? If you're still watching, try to get back on. I wonder if my interview link changed. I'm gonna send you a new link right now just to make sure it's the right one. It should be the same link I always have though. I just messaged you in Discord, Tarheel. ATOS holds. I'm gonna get PDT slapped today. Pattern day trader, that sucks. I've had that happen to me plenty of times. You get anyone who's unfamiliar, so if you have an account that's under 25K, you can only do three round trip trades, intraday round trip trades in a 5 day span. Otherwise, you get tagged as a pattern day trader, and sometimes that stuff can hit you quick. It's happened to me in the past where, like, GameStop at one point, let's say, got up to 350. Some other stuff was up, CLOV, and then maybe you pull some money out of your account, to, like, for whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, GameStop turns around and loses 50%. Now all of a sudden my account value is back below 25, and because I've already done, you know, 15 round trips in the last 5 day span, your account will get locked until you get that account balance back up, where you can only close positions and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, that pattern day trader rule sucks. D Worms in the house. Let me text Tarheel real quick because I don't know if he was trying to get in and it wasn't working. But also, anyone who's again new to the stream. So every Monday, Tar Heel Blue comes on. If you're unfamiliar with him, go like and subscribe. Oh, there he is. Let's see here. All right, I got you. And you know what it is? I have my volume down on my computer, so I think I didn't even hear you calling in. Let me get you up on the screen real quick. And it sounds like your mic is doing that same thing too. If you can hear me right now.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, we lost him. What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, okay. You sound good now too.
That better?
Yeah, it was doing that same, that thing where the mic was like tripping. Same thing that was happening with me on
Yeah.
mine the other day. So, um,
I think I was clicking my link that I'd sent you. I was
oh,
like, why isn't he answering? But
oh man,
yeah,
dude, I
Cavalry's here. Cavalry's here.
I should have had you get on at 6 this morning. I'm tired. I need. So let's see.
You're doing great, man. You're doing great.
So
I slept. Yeah, I
Tar
slept
Heel.
all day on Saturday.
I just realized too. I'm gonna put your link down here in the description of the video. Just for anyone who's unfamiliar with Tar Heel, go check out his channel. Hit subscribe, and also join him in Power Hour every day. Um,
Yeah.
let's see here. Oh, you got up to 600. You're hit 600 recently.
Yeah, crossed over yesterday.
Nice.
Or Saturday. Worm just said we had hella storms in North Carolina. We did, man. I was up early this morning, but it's so like dreary and rainy here. I just like went back to bed and I'm struggling a little bit.
Now, isn't it?
But
It's hot as hell though, right?
yeah, I don't know how it works in California, but it's so humid here too that like when it gets so hot, the clouds just get like too heavy and then the sky just opens up. So it just got way too hot and it's been raining here all night. So I'm just chilling. But did you have fun in Arena?
Yeah, too much fun.
Too much.
uh, hold on one second. I'm just gonna try to put your I'm trying to change the description of this video real quick so I could
Oh,
add
it's all
you
good.
add you to it if I could. I know I could do that while I'm live, right?
Yeah. You can do that. All right, I'll just say what's up to everybody. I see all the usual suspects. Scotty, co-creator, Ego Nunya, DJ Tardis, Dave's in the house. What's good, man? Got a little fam in here. I like it. But what's up with you in that $41 number? You just like that number, don't you?
Oh, with DraftKings.
Yeah, well, you were gonna enter space in that too. Remember?
Oh, well, with space, I was looking more for a gap fill. With
Yeah, but
DraftKings,
it was the same dollar though. It was 41.
yeah.
I
Let's
just
see.
thought I had deja
Follow.
vu.
I'm gonna put on here. Follow Tarheel Blue. There we go. I think I just put it in there now. So now I got your link, and I gotta remember to do that on Mondays too,
No, it's all good. Thanks,
just so
brother.
it's in there. But yeah, so I just added Tar Heel's YouTube channel to the description of this video. If anyone, please go
So
check them out. Hit subscribe. All right, so yeah, so that 41 number with DraftKings is I don't. Here's the thing. I don't want to get in right now. But you see that I kind of put these two lines up there. I'm thinking it's going to come down and touch here before reversing.
yeah,
Uh, but I don't want to buy in before then because if it breaks through that support, I could see it falling all the way
right,
down to this 35. So,
right.
I just kind of, you know, I,
Well, that's a nice double bottom. Maybe they'll go and stop people out real quick and be a good entry point.
yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and I just want to play off. They got two earnings coming up, football season right around the corner, and
Oh yeah,
if this thing reverses and starts moving upwards, um, being able to get in here and maybe ride this run to test 75, wouldn't be a bad play.
yeah. Well, honestly, I mean, you never know, but I don't think there's a bad buy right now because everything's just so beaten up.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely that
But
too.
but
Um,
DraftKings will have a lot of momentum going in football season. I thought that was a great kind of analysis. I watched your video this morning, so
Yeah, I was tired as hell when I made that last night too. I had just woken up from that nap on I
yeah.
fell asleep watching Space Jam and I woke up and I was like, no, I wanted to put this video out. Took me a
I
while to
wa-
get it
I
going.
watched. I don't have kids, but I watched like part of the Black Widow movie. Have you seen that? It's all right. I haven't made it all the way through yet.
No, we didn't watch it yet, but we have Disney Plus, so
Mhm.
I've seen that pop up. There's so many shows I want to watch that have been, especially Marvel.
Yeah,
The kids are.
Loki's really good. If you haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen Loki. I haven't even seen the what was the Winter Soldier one?
Yeah, I don't know the Winter Soldier and
Falcon and the
and
Winter Soldier or
Falcon.
something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't I haven't
it's
watched
a
that.
it's okay. Loki's better in my humble opinion. All my like super geek friends think that Loki was way better, so I just go on what they tell me.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we haven't watched any of them yet. Anything that's basically any of the
yeah,
new Marvel stuff, the kids have been they've been into like Nickelodeon or whatever. I don't know. They got their stuff they're watching now, and they but I enjoy the Marvel stuff, so I'm always whenever I'm sitting in there and they're watching, it's like I try to get them to turn
right.
switch it over to that, but they're not
What do
into it
you
right now.
what do you think about? So there was a lot of drama this weekend. Did you catch any of it?
On
Super
you
stuff.
talking about like Super Stunk? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was I was kind of keeping up with that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I thought this morning I kind of pulled up and I saw that I think they got rid of all three of those mods. Is
yeah.
that kind of what ended up happening? So I don't know what caused it. Because I didn't really want to. It's like you log in there and it looks like a bunch of like first graders arguing over
I know.
BS, and there's all these posts about like drama on a subreddit, and it's like,
Yeah,
are you kidding me
it's,
right now?
it's too bad. It makes you appreciate our subreddit at
Yeah,
least. Me, I never joined the Super Stonk subreddit. I don't really know too much about it, but I've obviously been in Wall Street Bets. But it's just it's bad. I'm sorry to see anything happen like that to any one of the subreddits. So I hope they recover. And I don't know.
yeah. It's unfortunate because like the there's a ton of great DD posted on Superstonk, and there's a lot of great contributors. But this is kind of like the
Yeah,
same thing that happened. Um, God, that originally when everyone left Wall Street Bets, there
yeah,
was a GME subreddit, and kind of the same thing, just like drama with the mods, and all of a sudden people started leaving, and that's why Superstonk got created.
really.
And then it seemed like today, or not today, but over the weekend, it was kind of like the same thing unfolding. Like a bunch of drama between the moderators of the subreddit, and
Yeah,
from what I heard, another one, um, another one popped up. I don't know when. It was like GME
Jungle.
GME Jungle. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I haven't even went in there yet, but I know that was like the new, I guess the new one, where a
Mhm.
lot of people kind of split off to, and whatever. I mean, the DD, if there's good DD out there, it usually gets cross posted to all of them.
Right. I just
And
thought it was a weird weekend because we had. Did you see the Ape Fest? That's
y-
such a weird event. I don't want to bash anybody, but I will not be attending.
yeah, no, I did. And there was a bunch of stuff going on with that too. So there was like, so with on the AMC side of things,
uh,
there was that West Christian and
mhm.
I had talked about it too, like, yeah, it'd be cool to kind of fundraise money for West Christian, but it turns out it wasn't West Christian.
Yeah,
It was somebody else, who ended up, the guy has a long history of fraud. He was starting a GoFundMe, to basically spearhead this legal thing with West Christian as the lead attorney or lawyer or whatever. But it turns out the dude running the GoFundMe was kind of like fraudulent, and there was all this
yeah.
history of fraud with him. So now all the people
Really?
that donated are trying to get their money back. And then on top of that,
That's
the whole
tough.
Ape Fest thing, which was, if anyone's unfamiliar, there was going to be they were planning like this festival in Vegas. I think it was Vegas for January
Yeah,
3rd as like the 1 year anniversary of the apes or something. And it's like, charging these exorbitant amounts of money to basically go to a party, and nothing squoze yet. So people were kind of like, "There's nothing to celebrate. Why are you guys doing this now?"
I know. A lot of people are have lost money actually. I tweeted out. I was like, I think I did Ape Fest wrong. I invited everybody to the beach house this winter. For, hopefully I'll be buying some plane tickets too. But I didn't know I was supposed to charge people. My bad.
All right,
But
so I got a couple questions that I starred real quick. If you want to take a look at them,
yeah, what's up?
or actually,
Oh,
let me
you know
see.
what? I finally just figured out how to. I can see the chat. Oh man. Okay. It finally just popped up on my screen for Ecamm. I don't know if I can see him starred though.
Yeah, let me see. I'm just going. I'm trying to catch up. Chef Daddy says Winter Soldier and Falcon was great, but Loki was better. Okay.
I I agree.
Um, let's see. All
Yeah, throw
right.
something up there. I'll take a swing at it. I did a lot of DD this weekend, and it's funny because, oh man, I get so much love from the community. I think people think I'm smarter than I actually am, but I think it's because like when I understand something, I just understand it on such a rudimentary level. But I dug deep and I learned some really, really good stuff this weekend, and I swear to you, I was like, oh man, I'm a genius. I finally figured this stuff out. And then I looked and like living it was like, yeah. He breathes this stuff. And Degenerate, I sent Degenerate an article, and he's like, bro, yeah, I covered that like a month ago. I'm like, oh, okay. But there's a lot there to chew on, with like value based care and claims based care versus the fee for service model. So I did a ton of DD this weekend. Hopefully, I'll be having some good stuff come out this week.
Nice.
Yeah,
So I'm looking through these questions right now, and I'm probably way behind on the chat too.
that's all right.
But let's see. Doesn't look like any of them. Oh, here's one, and maybe we'll get to that one first. So, Danielle says, "Can you confirm AMC, GME are shorted by the same companies? Is there any overlap between the companies that are also shorting CLOV?" Um, I mean, I can pull that stuff up on Fintel if you want to take
Yeah,
a look at it. I know Citadel was
yeah,
one that we saw, and Saskatchewan was one that we saw on the
yeah,
list. Um, but yeah, let me try to pull that. I'll try to pull that information up, and then I'll just kind of drag it
yeah.
on.
Danielle,
Um,
so Fintel would definitely, the paid version would definitely be the place to see that. And you just kind of have to go through some of those companies that short the stock are also, they buy calls against it and they have puts too. It's just there's a lot going on there. I haven't dug through it, but I would imagine that absolutely there's some of the same companies. But I heard there was a comment in like one of my chats, or I can't remember who said it, but maybe it was on Discord. They said that AMC community just found out that like Citadel owns like some ridiculous amount of shares. I haven't confirmed that, but
Well, I mean that was kind of going on even before it. Like, yeah,
right.
I don't know because like, and it's really hard to know because those things get reported what like every 15 days, and I kind of explained that on Friday too. Like, you know, if let's say you're selling covered calls or you're selling naked calls and then the stock goes up and you have to purchase shares of a company to kind of cover your basis and that also falls into the same time
Yeah,
that reporting is, well now you have to report all these shares, but I guess the real thing to look at is what the hell, sorry, I'm trying to search up this next one. So I actually have the Clove short interest up right now. So I'm going to pull up GameStop first and put that next to it, and then also get the other one up. So, but
no, it's-
yeah, so that would make sense on why too. But unless there was something else that I didn't know about, um, damn, why isn't this pulling up?
so you're dropping webull, huh? You're leaving me.
I mean, I'm gonna
Damn,
try. I'm gonna try to go
sad,
Thinkorswim.
a
I'm
sad day.
so familiar with Thinkorswim, and I'm starting to
Those
feel
those moving averages to get those moving averages up, it's seriously like a 2 minute thing. I could show you if you want me
it,
to.
yeah, I'd love I'd
All
love to.
right, all
Um,
right,
I mean, either way, I think once we get offline, I'll have you show me how to do it. But
yeah,
there's like other ones that like I mean, after trading with Thinkorswim for years, now it's like I already have
yeah,
presets. Like if I'm on a 5 minute chart, I have my 5 minute presets. I could just boom, boom, and then I go to the 1 minute, or if I'm looking for like swing trade opportunities, I have certain stuff that I pull up, and it's just I haven't been using
yeah.
it anymore, and I just feel like
No, that's cool. I think the whole community could benefit from with your presets and what you're looking for as
all
far
right.
as finding runners and all that.
So here I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So this is AMC, just to kind of look. We can compare the two, but AMC's reported short interest looks like J.P. Morgan. Just look for some of kind of the same names. Uh, Greenview Capital. These are all companies that reported short positions in AMC. Citadel, Jane Street, Susquehanna. Um,
I know Jane Street's in Clove.
let's see. So Bank of America. I mean, there's too many for us to sit here and absolutely read through. But let me get now. I'll pull Clove over, and we can kind of see the difference. So now we're looking at Clove, um, and there's Citadel. There's Jane Street,
Yep.
Susquehanna. Those are three that I know for sure. Was Hap?
The, the usual suspects.
I think I just saw Hap over here too. I mean, so you can actually go through, or maybe at one point I could, to see if we're looking at. Oh, there's Hap too. So it looks like Hap Trading is also one that I saw
Right.
between the two. So yeah, Bank of America. There we go. So a lot of the same big players, shorting Clove and shorting AMC. Let me see if I could find GameStop, real quick.
Looks like A Ron, D Nice, all the usual suspects. And Chef Dad, I'm not hating on Thinkorswim. I'm just not smart enough to use it. So uh, Coach is gonna do it. So I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel.
All right, so here's GameStop, and then so GameStop reported short positions. It's a little bit different.
Hey, so while you're looking at that, I want to see what everybody thinks about this. I just had like there's nothing left to do except for speculate at these levels. But I was thinking this morning, like maybe this is like the great meme reset where people they jump out of AMC and GameStop and come over, and because there's just a lot of turmoil in that community. I wonder if they'll hop onto Clove. And on that note too, I know you're looking at this, but maybe we can talk about this in a little bit. I know Wall Street Bets won't allow SPACs. I didn't even know that, and I just wonder why.
So they've been, just going back to God, like before, even before the whole meme blow up and all that kind of stuff, in January, that's always been a rule on Wall Street bets. SPACs, penny stocks, like
That's
really,
so
and
weird though. Why SPACs?
I think I want to say, and I
Because
can't
I mean,
remember the.
it's a direct offering. There's no way to game that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was and in crypto too. You couldn't talk crypto in there back way back when.
I
So I
I can
think
s-
there
I
was
can
a
see it.
mod of Wall Street Bets that I think was doing jail time for like
Oh
coordinated pump and dump or something.
oh
This is about a year or two ago. I can't remember the guy's name, but I gotta. I'm sure if you research search around a lot, I mean at the time. This was about 2 years ago. He was big in the Wall Street Bets community, and
really?
he yeah, but I think he was also like running a Twitter account, and it went beyond Wall Street Bets, and his own Discord server and a bunch of other stuff. But it was like started in Wall Street Bets, and yeah, I think he actually got in some serious trouble over it, and I don't remember if that's when the rules changed or not, but they basically took off the ability to like sit there and pump. I mean, because penny stocks you could
Right.
pump, crypto you could pump there,
Oh yeah,
especially with like
yeah,
lower floats and things like that. And
absolutely. I
I
just
think,
don't get it with SPAC.
yeah, I don't understand the SPAC deal either. Like,
I could
why? Um,
I could see IPOs, but I mean SPAC is like the exact opposite of something that could be pumped.
Let me see here. Looks like we got a. Why is my? There we go. I didn't realize that was over too much. All right, so we just had a huge candle on GameStop. Not a lot of volume
Wait,
though. I mean, GameStop's volume's been in like the 20,000 to 50,000 range. Uh, Crazy. So real quick, I got the GameStop one up, and we don't have to go through the whole thing, but Wolverine Trading, Susquehanna, Hap Trading, Citadel, kind of the same. I mean, someone would have to really do a deep dive to see if there's any companies that are like, long and short, but it looks like most of the major players. So, it's the same people shorting a lot of these same stocks.
yeah, it
Um,
is. And you know, it's I don't want to name names of larger entities, but I was talking with a couple of the boys over the weekend, and you know, we were just kind of saying some of these companies, you know, they make $370 billion a year or whatever the ridiculous number is. You know, if they lose $5-10 billion, then who cares? I'm talking about not hedge funds, but who knows who's playing together, you know? So
yeah,
I think there's a lot of people trying to kill this company right now.
yeah.
But
That's kind of
we
my speculation as
well
well.
did I don't want to say too much on it because I'm still digging into it like really hardcore, and I just want to go in depth with it. But have you seen that you know CMS is basically telling everybody they have to move from fee for service to value based care, and basically value based care is um, it's a pay for performance thing where you doctors kind of share in the profit, the revenue stream of patient. You know, it's more based on patient health outcomes now than just billing an insurance company for like the amount of things you can charge for. And they're actually in 10 cities. They're forcing. They're going to force place like value based care, and we got approved. That's what that whole thing was about in April. So there's going to be a switch in healthcare, and I think that's why Centene bought Apixia. They're trying to catch up. So just a lot of cool things in this sector right now.
and that's basically what I think part of what Vivek was talking about too, right? In that most recent article, saying that um, that they basically were being recognized as a company that was I guess a good great company for that, right? That so as
Hmm.
these things start to move forward, um, I think Clover Health will probably be a big part of it. Um, They're basically being recognized for how they're helping underserved communities and things of that nature.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's definitely part of it. Even more so, it's just like it's a mandate almost from CMS, and for everybody in the chat, that's the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services that kind of dictate how care is how care is given and how insurance companies are paid and all that good stuff. So there's just a lot of changes in the industry right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how the big boys retrofit their businesses
so
because
real,
we're primed for that. Clover system was set up particularly for that reason.
so real quick, I just want to because there was some questions about SPAC still.
Yep.
Um, So SPAC pre-merger, I understand. Clover is no longer a SPAC, says Derman. So yeah, so you can actually like Clover isn't banned from being talked about in Wall Street Bets now because it's a SPAC. I mean, you could. It's the pre-SPAC they don't want, or pre-merger they don't want talked about. But like once they kind of merge, like Clove now, SoFi, anything like that, you can post about on Wall Street Bets. It's just
Right.
beforehand. I think. And I mean, really, when you look at pumping, like look at a company like CCIV. I mean, that thing got pumped all the way up to $60,
Yeah.
and then as soon as the merger was announced, it dropped like a rock.
Yeah.
And I think part of that now that you kind of look at it in that light, um, I guess because there's not a lot of information on these SPACs and it's all
Hmm.
speculative beforehand, right? Like CCIV is one that I absolutely remember, because it was more recent, but that thing was trading at $60, and and then all of a sudden when the SPAC merger information came out, and the pipe deals and everything, and they put it out there, all these people were holding this stock that was $60, and at the merger it was worth 20, and no one knew that until they announced it the day of the merger what it was actually going to be worth. And I think that's kind of the scary part with SPACs. It's like if you
Yeah.
can't get in close to $10 on a SPAC, you might as well wait. For anyone who's unaware, so like all SPACs, special acquisition companies, they're valued at $10 until their merger is complete. Now once their merger is complete, they can complete the merger and right away be worth 20, like CCIV was, or they can complete the merger and be worth $12. No SPAC is going to complete a merger that's going to put them valued under 10, but they're always going to have it worked in there so they're valued more than 10. So getting into a SPAC at 10 is good. Um, Getting in at 30, 40, $50
Why
is
is it
super risky.
why do they I don't even know. Why do they do it at $10, do you know?
That's just like the cost. So all SPACs are come in at 10. I don't
Mm.
understand why it's 10, but that's what they're valued at, right off the bat. And then so if you keep that into consideration, if I own a SPAC and I'm looking for a company to take public, I'm not going to do a deal that's going to value me at less than 10.
Okay.
So the amount of shares you have, pipe investors and people who are getting into it before it even hit the market, where like retail can buy shares, kind of like how with Clove we had initial investors that were in before we had an opportunity to. But all that comes into play so that when you actually merge, now the company that you're merging with, they're going to get a specific amount of shares, and there's all this stuff that goes into the deal. But they're going to take into consideration what the valuation of the company is, and how many shares are actually trading on the market right now, and that's going to come up with like a per share price. And no one's going to make that deal if it's going to make the company worth less than 10.
Hmm.
So they're always going to try to do it where the company will be valuated higher than 10, because 10 is
Right.
kind of like that baseline for retail to get in at. Um,
Yeah, so okay, I got it. But yeah, everybody thought CCIV was going up to 100. I know
that was
for
supposed
that.
to be the next Tesla,
I mean,
and it still could be. I have no idea. I don't know enough about CCIV, but yeah, at the time it was like people were still jumping in and buying at 60, um, thinking it was going to pop to 100, myself included. I didn't buy any
yeah.
shares. Those are
Yeah.
kind of those plays that I talk about, like even like this most recent ATLS
Hmm.
play, like with CCIV, I bought a couple call contracts on that. Like, okay, let's see what happens if this thing runs to 100.
Right.
Cool. Well, immediately it tanked down to 20, and I didn't lose. Like for instance, if I would have bought 100 shares, that would have been 6 grand at the time. So I didn't lose 6 grand. You know what I mean? I lost the $200 I put in
So
on the contract.
what would you do if you were trying to, if you thought something was going to be extremely volatile? Would you go long and buy some puts, or would you sell covered calls, or what would you
So sorry,
get into?
I just want to make. Oh, I got that little ring alert that there was someone at my front door, so I just wanted to check real quick. Um, so if I knew there was volatility, so I mean, if you in terms of options, like if I think something's gonna take off, obviously I'll just buy calls. Or if you think something's
Mm-hmm.
gonna tank, you buy puts. But in terms of
Well, sometimes, like, like earnings, right? So you're going to see extreme volatility a lot of times on earnings, either up or down. So you might put a spread in there, for example, right?
yeah, so I mean, like, I guess if you're bullish on a stock and you think it has the potential to drop, the best thing to do is, sell puts. So if you sell puts on it, basically, let's just say Clove, for instance. If right now you sold puts at the $7 strike or the $8 strike, here I'll even pull up the options chain so we could look at it. Um, for this Friday, you're not
There's,
going to get as
there's a
much,
lot
but
from Monday morning.
what's that?
So this is a lot for Monday morning.
Yeah.
I'm making you think.
But if
Sorry.
we sold puts right here at the let's just say where are we at here? Um, this $8 strike right now, which I mean, Clove is trading right around 8. You can get a
Mhm.
return of what, $41 per contract, and then it gives you the ability to buy Clove at $8. So just if it's trading below 8 at the time. So
Yeah.
if you're bullish on Clove and you wanted to go in and buy Clove, but you thought that it might move lower, or um, this is probably a
And
bad example just because it's so short dated, but let's say we go to like July 30th and go out a little bit more. Um, you know what? I like my first example. Let's go July 31st. So
you get
right there,
an instant premium when you sell puts, right? Don't you?
yeah. So like right now, if I sold this $8 put, I would get $42 deposited in my account. And now if the stock is trading below 8 on Friday, I have the ability, or I have to buy it. I'm gonna get you know assigned, and I have to buy this stock for $8 a share. So, but another way to even do it too is like, let's say I'm bullish on the stock. I think it's going to go up. I could sell, let's say $10 puts, right? So right now I would get $211 deposited in
Mm-hmm.
my account. If the stock's trading below $10, I'm going to get assigned at $10, and basically minus out the 211. It would cost me 1,000, but I got a $211 credit. So basically, I bought the stock for $7.89. So if you think about it that way, and if I'm bullish on the stock and I think it's going to continue to go up, I sell these $10 puts. Let's say the stock gets all the way up and it's trading at
But
950 at the time. Now I'm able to
there's
go in and buy the stock at a
right.
thousand plus the credit. I'm getting it at 789, and it might be trading at 950 on Friday. You know what I mean?
But, there's a lot of risk involved in that too, isn't there, with selling puts? If it tanks, what do you think about buying long positions and also buying some puts against it?
So you do have the risk of if it tanks, but if you were gonna, I guess the way I look at it is if you were bullish on the stock and you were gonna buy it anyways,
Yeah.
selling puts would be a way to kind of like average your way in. So, you know, let's just say again, you were gonna go buy Clove right now and buy 100 shares. You're already gonna drop $800 on Clove. You could sell puts against it to average that cost down and get it down. And you could do that week over week over week and keep collecting
Hmm.
premium. And eventually you're going to get assigned. And now when you get assigned, you might average down your cost basis to where you bought it for 6. The risk
Right.
though is exactly like you're saying. If I sell those puts, let's say at the $8 strike, and Clove tanks down to like $5, I
You're
still
gonna lose
have to.
money on the shares and the options.
Yeah, I still have to go in and purchase that those 100 shares at the $8 strike.
Yeah,
Um,
that would scare me. I'd rather buy long shares, and I don't play options, but I would just buy some puts against them, I guess, in theory.
okay, I get what you're saying, like more of a hedge, right?
Yep,
So,
yep, yep,
so,
yep.
so all right, so I bought my shares and now I want to hedge my bet. Yeah, you could just buy puts, and now if the
Right.
stock goes down, you can collect some money on the put contracts, to kind of hedge against what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
I'm more of in the keep it simple, stupid camp.
yeah. But then I would say just stick with shares, and then at the same time buy calls and puts, for like short term hedging. Um,
Yeah.
that could absolutely work out. The other way you could do it too, but this is kind of more of a bearish sentiment, is if you think like a stock is going to trade sideways for a while and IV is hella high on the stock, that's when you want to like buy covered calls. So you still like the stock, but you have a feeling it's gonna trade sideways. You can go in there and buy the shares and write covered calls against them, and you'll get that same net credit back that you would if you sold puts. So
Mm.
everything's moving right now, and now I'm mad that I didn't get in my DraftKings
Dude,
bet.
I can't believe I did this morning, but I bought more clove, man. I bought a lot.
Nice. I,
I found some money, and I'm like, I'm doing it.
dude,
I'm
at these
doing it.
prices, I don't see. I mean, I
Yeah,
think Clove is going to double or even triple. I'm kind
yeah.
of skimming through real quick. We got to this question already. Badass Dad's Cast said he needs ATOS to bounce back so he can recover losses. And Ego, how come it's not pulling up on the stream? Oh, there we go. Ego said, "Can we pull up the options chain on ATOS?" Absolutely. Um,
Hey, I'll teach you how to do moving averages on Webull if you can help me figure out the options chain. I got it on the web version of Webull, but I can't figure it out on the desktop version.
okay.
Like I know it
It's
just
a
doesn't show correctly.
it's a
It
it's a
looks all
widget that you got to add to your screen.
okay. Well, I have the options widget. It just like pulls up all. It doesn't show all the strike prices. I don't know what I'm
Oh,
probably
okay. So so like here you can go both calls, puts, and then right next to it,
right.
it has all. I just have it set to all. You might need to go to like the $6. You might have 6 strikes, 10
Oh, there it
strikes.
is. I got it. Okay, sweet.
So looking at this option chain on ATOS, I mean, I
Oh,
don't
we're
I don't imagine the weeklies are going to be too overly loaded. Ego, if you're still there, sorry, I know you had asked that a while back, but if we go,
we're running, coach.
oh, Clovis, all right, let me go back. So here's the August 20th chain, and it looks like right around the 350 strike is going to be the max pain number. Um, and we're still a ways out for it to kind of get loaded up, but there is some specific strike prices that are looking decent. Um, the only thing I had said that see everything's kind of moving right now. Wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, did we not think this was going to happen?
Yeah, no, we
Every
talked about that this morning too. That
It's just crazy.
the spy's going to start pulling back, and then everything's going to come
Yeah,
back with it.
I heard you
Um,
say that.
DraftKings is up on the day, and I never got my entry, but yeah, it is what it is. Um, I still may jump in. I just because I'm looking for this to eventually make a run to up here over the course of football season,
I think it will.
and if we end up getting past here and getting into like 45, I know it's not
Yeah,
going to be the same entry that I was looking for to get in down here, but
yeah,
at that point I would be looking at, okay, we're kind of in a reversal mode now,
yeah.
and so I don't know. I'll see, but
Well,
it was oversold, man, and maybe today I should have just bought on
yeah.
that dip.
I
Um,
heard I heard co-creator say something about RSI on Clove going up, and on if you look on the daily, it was down like pretty hard.
yeah, I think he was talking about the 5 minute. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
just up on the 5 minute candle, like up to like 66, 60. You know what I mean? Like we were trading in
Yeah,
high RSI. this morning, and we still are. We're at like 65, but that was just like on the intraday candles.
Yeah. Do you follow that much? Because I don't ever look at RSI on a small on a
Um,
yeah
occasionally, just for, but more from like a day trading perspective. Like, if you
yeah
get into like a really oversold territory, you can kind of time that when there's going to be
yeah
a pullback, or like if I'm looking for an exit
yeah.
point in a stock. And I'll turn
I
that
guess
back
it.
off.
I guess if you're low on the RSI on both the daily and like a 5 minute, then that's a pretty good signal, buy signal, I guess.
Yeah, or even like, here target short sellers had pointed out earlier how low ATOS was, right, on the RSI, and it was. I mean, we were at 16 on the 5 minute chart. Stock
Wow.
got all the way down to $3.70, and I had said at the time like that might be a good opportunity to jump in a day trade. Um, but look, I mean, you were that low on RSI, and you're able to get these intraday kind of moves where
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean it ran for what, 30 cents, which would be a huge day trade one if you were kind of
Yeah.
like trading on margin and just loaded up with
Right.
10,000 shares or something like that. Um,
I like RSI, man. I really like trading with RSI. I use it as confluence. I just look at other indicators as well. But
So I found this pretty cool. I don't think I'm gonna actually subscribe to it, but and I don't want to say the name of it yet because I have no idea how good it works. But it's $200 a month, and I'm probably not gonna subscribe to it. But it
what is it?
basically it's a separate kind of indicator type thing, and what it does is it's supposed to show like where all the dark pool money and algorithms are flowing on a specific stock, so that you can.
Really?
But it's only like intraday. So like for instance, right now it's showing that Clove. Let me make sure this is accurate before I. But I don't know. I've just been keeping an eye on it today to see if it's actually works and if it's good, and if it
Mm.
is, I'll start kind of including it in the broadcast moving forward. But like right now for Clove, it's kind of showing that the algorithms and dark pool trading and all that is looking to pull the stock upwards towards the $9 mark. And then if you look at like uh, this is on a 15-minute chart too, so I'm still learning how it works, but um, I'll show it to you later. I'll have you check
Yeah.
it out. But I mean, I just started playing around with this last night. So like I said, I don't want to really. I'm trying to see how it
Hmm.
works. Um, and it's showing DraftKings actually that the algorithms right now should be trying to pull it downwards. Again, I don't
And
know. I'm
that's
still learning
interesting.
how to read this. But I'm
You just
interested to.
you hope it's not a lagging indicator though. That's the only thing I would be careful with.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It looks like. See, where's the time at? So just to get an idea, so it looked like Clove on this thing I'm looking at right around, what time would that be? See, the times look off too. Yeah, I'll mess around with it later. I don't want to get too much into it because I know you guys can't even see what I'm looking at. Uh, all right, Dan's got a question. If you want to answer this one, I'll. So it says, okay, explain this to me. I realized I was on a 1 minute when I saw those moving averages, but when I changed it to the 5 minute, the MAs were completely different. What's the
Yeah.
mechanics?
So I heard I was listening this morning and I heard I didn't know who said it, but I heard somebody say it was crossing over 20 was crossing over something. And I was like, I bet they're on a smaller time frame. Yeah, so those moving averages on a shorter time frame, they're just gonna weave like crazy. And that's why you just day trading is so hard because you have to have multiple indicators and multiple lines of confluence. Confluence is just using multiple indicators to project what you want to try to do. But that's why day trading is so hard. And in my opinion, the way I trade is more of on a long term basis. So I look for I follow the daily chart when I look at moving averages, and we have right now the 50 trying to cross over the 200, and the 100's been trying to cross over the 200 for a couple weeks now. But I think just again, in my opinion, if you're gonna start day trading, I would look for to get into bullish territory. So I would be looking on the daily chart for all the shorter term moving averages to, yes, cross over the 200, but to ride above the 200. And now you're in bullish territory. In my opinion, if you're in a day trade, I would wait on that because now the price is going up, right? And you can wait on some pullbacks as we establish a new upward channel. A good bull flag is when you're rising, right? And then you see like a flag pattern go down, and those are the ones you can trade on. That's the way I would day trade if I was going to do it.
Yeah. Um, I've So what? Let me ask you, what moving averages do you typically use?
I don't think it matters too much. I don't think, like, I've seen some people use like the 13, and I just, those are going to trade along with the price. So I don't even look at that. I use 20, 50, 100, and 200. And the ones I really look for, I look on the 4 hour and the daily, but right now, especially on the daily, the when you can see a longer term moving average move to the upside against another long term moving average, that's going to be the golden cross you're going to want to see, because that's when like all the buyers are going to come in, right? So again, if you look at the daily and you look at the 100, as soon as that 100 crosses that 200, in theory, you should just see a hella bunch of buyers come in on Clove.
So you're talking more like swing trading in, right? Like you're looking to enter when to enter a position for like more of a
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So
yeah, and that
intraday,
that could happen at $15, right? But I think that would
yeah,
propel the stock like way higher. But I think that would be the point to start day trading.
yeah. So intraday for me, like if I was gonna day trade a stock, like let's say I was looking to day trade Clover, DraftKings, or whatever it may be. And there's other things that go into like picking which stock, but I've always used like the 50 SMA as like my, because obviously you want to be a little bit faster in your moving average. If I'm looking to
Right.
like, and I'm talking day trading, like if I was looking for an entry point where I can get into this here at 42 and ride it up to 44, like all intraday stuff. So I've always used like the 50 SMA. And then I don't know. Feel like I've had the most success with like the 8 and 34. I don't know why.
Hmm.
I mean, and there's people that
So
use the
random.
10 and the 4 and 20, or
Yeah.
but either way, just all like, but exactly what you're talking about. Just looking for like smaller, you know, um, shorter term, crossing over a long term, and looking for
Hmm.
opportunities to jump in and jump out of stuff.
I wouldn't be doing it now unless you were taking short positions in a stock. Um, I would wait for a breakout of, we've kind of been in a falling wedge pattern since we've been at 28. So I'd wait for a breakout of that. And like I said, on the shorter time frames, you're gonna see some bullish flags forming. I would wait for those.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Where do we? I was kind of screwing around and
Yeah.
drew that up here earlier today. But what would our breakout point be right now to get out of this fallen wedge?
Oh man, I don't know if I have it pulled up. Uh, Honestly, I wish you could see my screen right now. It's we're at the end of it. So
Oh, we're
I
like
hope we
we're getting ready for the breakout right now.
I hope so. I mean, again, TA and a quarter will get you a cup of coffee these days with all the manipulation going on. So I don't love this falling wedge pattern. I've seen a bunch of people try to draw it, but you need multiple touch points, and
Yeah, that's what I
that's
was just gonna say. I mean, I kind of drew it up
yeah,
earlier too, and it's like, I
right,
mean, you can always. That's the problem with TA too, and I'm not knocking TA, but it's like I could draw this however I want. Like, oh look, we broke out of it already. You know what I mean? And you can kind of, you can kind of
absolutely,
you could do a bunch of stuff to
right,
make it
right.
appear, but you
Well,
you can also see the pattern though, right? So you could see that it is kind of a downward wedge,
right,
and no
right.
matter where you put the line, at some point, if we can get a
Exactly.
nice pop, you can obviously say
Well,
that we broke out of it, and
the main
um,
thing is just to understand that we're in a downward trend. We're in a downward continuation channel. It's not consolidation, it's continuation, and we need to establish an upward continuation channel before again before I would even think about day trading this sucker.
So Target short seller just put this up, and I just saw that there's a news article right here. It says Clover Health CEO speaks out for the first time
Oh,
on hospital controversies. And it's an article from Yahoo Finance.
is it new?
Yeah, it looks like it was posted just 30 minutes ago.
Really?
Um, Clover Health, Vivek has had a tumultuous year following the company's merger. Um, Battling lawsuits spurred by report from Hindenburg. Okay. Uh, Not his first run-in with criticism. Garipoli told Yahoo Finance the strategies used were to help save the urban hospitals, which care for an underserved population from bankruptcy. There's no lobbying voice for Medicaid patients. There's no lobbying voice for those who are uninsured.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Man, they're playing that PR card hard. I like
yeah.
it.
So this is all in regards to what, like the DOJ, the Hindenburg report thing. I'll have to look into this more once we kind of sign off, but I'm gonna bookmark
Yeah,
that and save it.
yeah. I'm just going through it now. It's funny. Have you listened to the Q1 earnings call? I listened to that whole thing yesterday. It's about 45 minutes long.
Was that is that the
But
most recent one?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, I did. You know, that day that it happened, we were. I was really looking for some movement that day, and then that was Hindenburg. That was when Hindenburg dropped the second hit piece.
Well, one of the funny things I heard in there was everybody's been so concerned about Vivek selling shares, and he basically like specifically said, "Yeah, we're in this for the long haul." Andrew and I, and that's our take on the company and the stock. You can't really come out and say I'm going to hold forever, but I mean, he really tried to hammer that point home. I hadn't listened to that yet. I was glad I did. It just gave me ease.
Let's see here. I just want to look around the markets real quick and see where we're at. So, everything's still pretty much red on the day. It looks like, with the exception of
Base,
GameStop actually is in the green right now. I mean,
wish.
up 8 cents, but still, it's back in the green. And DraftKings uh, up 1%. AMC still down 4%. Trading at 33.56. The SPY is still really negative. I mean, shit, it's still going down. I don't know if let me pull that up. So the S&P 500 is continuing. It's still in a downward trend on the day. So this is actually kind of good that we're diverging from it now, you
Yep,
know, um,
yep.
because it's down 763. I mean, this is starting to get into like pretty big territory for, you start seeing 2%, 3% drop. Um, that's quite a big drop for
Damn. The Dow is down 805 points. I didn't even see that.
yeah. I mean, look at this gap right here.
Wow.
I mean, that's a pretty
So I
significant drop. I mean, it's similar to what we saw back here in May, but that happened over the course of 3 days, and this just happened,
right. No,
But
that's definitely some divergence from the SPY. That's great. And the Dow. And shit, the Nasdaq and Russell are getting murdered. We're usually down way more than they are.
yeah, so that's and really everything kind of started when this started pulling up, and usually that's when I start to look for what time was this at 7:20, but we were already trading above VWAP when it happened. So then when 7:20 hit and everything started pushing upwards, we were already above VWAP, and so we continued to go up. Same thing with DraftKings, that was right there,
Mhm.
and actually GameStop. That's when it kind of plunged through. If we started looking through and looking around at other stocks, I'm sure there's other ones that all went on that run at 720. Here's and then got hammered right at VWAP and are going to continue to go downwards with the SPY. So I think us trading above there is
I like our chart right now. We're seeing a bunch of wicks to the downside,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's
upward
great.
upwards pressure, upwards
Yeah,
pressure. That's what it's all
but
about.
but like you said, I think it's great that we're diverging from the major indices. Why do you I don't think I've ever asked anyone this before. I've never looked at the SPY or the QQQ. I always just follow the Dow, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the Russell. Like I don't look at the ETF. Why do you look at the ETFs?
I just watched the spy. Just well, because I mean it is tracking, and it's
Right.
I don't know. I just that's just the one that I've always used. Like I mean, I
Okay, I
guess
was
you
just
could kind of
curious.
do the same thing, like watching the QQQ. Um, but I feel like like with the spy at least, it seems to kind of be a pretty decent
Yeah.
indicator. At least I've always used it for day trading. At least
Okay.
usually if I'm day trading a couple stocks, I'll always have the spy on somewhere so that I can
Yeah.
kind of see if you start seeing this type of movement, and you're in the middle of a trade, you might want to exit. Just because a lot of times that'll like drag the market down with it.
Hmm.
And so sometimes it can kind of be like a leading indicator. Like, for instance, if we come back and see when this happened, so this is what right around 650 is when we saw this drop in the spy. Um, and so look at the 650 candle, DraftKings was still going up. So here we're 5 minutes ahead on a drop along the entire market, and you could see it live right there. So at
Right.
650, you would have saw this
I
drop, and that would
I
have told
guess
me exit.
right. I guess my question though is I just follow the S&P 500, you know.
As opposed to
Not
the ETF
yeah. And you can see the same thing at 950 on the S&P 500.
650. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
uh
Yeah, I don't know. I've just always looked at the actual the spy, but
East Coast, East Coast. I can't do this time.
so yeah, it looks like GameStop might be looking to run. I mean, it's I don't know.
Yeah, Dave feels me. Dave's in the chat. He feels me. But again, I don't claim to be as smart as you, so
No,
maybe
there's
I'll
there's really no reason. I mean, there's no like
okay.
specific reason why I've always maybe I'll actually start tracking the the indexes instead. But I've just always kind of looked at the spy in terms of but like you said, they give you the same price movement too.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, I know you got to go make some breakfast here in a few minutes. Do you want to? What were you thinking about bell to bell or halfway? You want to do like a poll in your community tab, or you want to see what people want to do, or what do you think?
Oh yeah, so me and Tarheel were talking about trying it out one day, especially before I go back to work. Trying to do like just keep the stream going for the whole day. I mean, obviously, not everyone could stay on all day and all that, but maybe even whether just keeping it like bell to bell, like all on one channel, or splitting it. I think we were talking about splitting it, like maybe if I started at 6 and ended up, what would that be? Running this until like 9:30, or I'm sorry, 12:30,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
right around there you would pick up and then we'd switch over to his channel and just keep the coverage like throughout the entire day. Um, so we're gonna check it out and figure it out. But I would say we'll do it sometime this week, right?
Yeah, I will
Um,
say at least at this point in in our YouTube journey, it's a lot easier. I think it'd be a lot easier to get through the day with you as opposed to just doing it solo.
yeah, no, absolutely. So we'll yeah, maybe I'll when we sign off right here, I'll put it on the I'll do a community like poll type thing,
All
and
right.
we'll check it out. Man, I'm looking at DraftKings right now, and I just before I sign off, um, I just want to look at this.
Everything's running.
Yeah,
Everything.
I mean,
Glad I bought. Woo! I think I got in at like 785.
I'm still, I'm looking for DraftKings. I know you're talking Clove right now, but I'm still want to get in this play for the long haul. And if we see this thing close, or look
Load
like
it
it's
up.
going to close above 45 today, I'm just going to
Hmm.
go ahead and buy in, because I do think that it's going to start running up. And
Hey, we got 2 cents and we're green.
oh, on Clove,
Hmm.
oh, I have no idea what just happened, but my webull app just crashed on me.
Hold on.
Um, so you know what? I'm just gonna take that as a.
All right.
Let me see. I'll pull this up real quick. That's see, hey. So maybe that's a sign that I do need to get into Think or Swim. I still have all this stuff up from huh from. There we go. All right. So yeah, sorry guys. I don't know what happened there, but maybe that was a sign that I need to just get my Think or Swim on. But yeah, my Webull app just crashed out of nowhere. So um, I was gonna kind of go over all these stocks and stuff, but basically, I'm probably gonna go ahead and open that position on DraftKings here. Maybe look for a little bit of a pullback, but yeah, I think I'm
Six,
definitely getting in today. This is
6 months
a long term play too. So like, what I'm looking to do with DraftKings is, I don't know. I guess you said you saw the video, but I'm going all the way out to February. I mean, I'm gonna give it like 6 months and really try to get I think it was the February call somewhere around the $65 strike, and I think there's going to be a lot of upward momentum in the coming months in that stock, and I'm just going to try to play off it a little bit. All right. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I'm going to get out. I'm going to sign off. You
out.
got anything else to add?
Let's go green, baby. Let's go green.
Yeah. So hey, thank you everybody for joining. Again, go down to the description box. Make sure you subscribe to Tarheel's channel and check him out. He'll be doing Power Hour every day, including today. And sometimes he'll hop on a little bit earlier too. Last week we got some early ones when Jay Powell was speaking, and you gotta teach me how to do that too. I don't know how you did that where you streamed
Yes.
inside the box, but we'll figure it out. But hey, thanks for coming on, and everybody
Yeah.
else, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Uh, Thank you for sitting through me kind of waking up. I know it takes a lot longer on Mondays. Uh, Mondays is Alexander Lee says going into football season is a play. Absolutely, that's what I'm looking at least. All right, so thank you guys. Um, See you later. Make sure you go check out Tar Heel later. Thanks for joining in.
Be good. See you, brother.
All right.